Nowadays, it's really hard to find a movie that you would want to rewatch. You often got some cheap plot with the same drama lane going on and on and on. It's tiring, but when you come across a movie that makes you feel something, and this emotion is good, or at least strong, and you want to come back to it, then it's so much more rewarding. I decided that I would watch more movies this year, some of the good old classics also. And I wanted to start with something that I knew, but at the same time haven't seen for a pretty while, but remembered at least that I liked it. I didn't want to risk starting with something that would discourage me from watching more, and so I turned to watch The Lovely Sound of Music. And I was so amazed by it, by the positivity it made me feel, the happiness that took over me, the music that wouldn't let me think about other things, or the contagious smiles throughout the whole movie that made me forget about the time. I haven't seen something so magical in a long time, and it really. Uh, Let me explain. After the longest but picturesque intro, we land on some land to be introduced to the loveliest lady, singing and dancing in nature like some princess. Happiness so contagious you can stop but smile as well, maybe even hum the beautiful tune along with her. Sharing the appreciation of the nature around us, feeling the want to run up some hill and sing from lungs, and enjoy the blessings of the beauty and peaceful atmosphere. Then, all of a sudden, us and the lovely lady are pulled out of the nice moment by church bells, and the lady's freaked out face as she runs down the hill towards the sound, but not before she comes back to grab the one important thing she forgot there, her wimple. We find out that Maria, the lovely lady, played by Julia Andrews, is staying in the abbey and getting ready to become a nun. But soon we see that she isn't like the other woman in there. She doesn't match the idyllic picture of a nun. She's dear to other nuns and they love her very much.
Maria makes me laugh.
But as they say, she's too free-spirited and some question her future in the convent and say
Maria's not an asset to the abbey.
She's aware of these imperfections, but she cannot help herself. She asks for forgiveness and explains how she was drawn to the abbey and the nuns since her very childhood, yet she admits she can't bring herself to stop singing everywhere and saying everything that's on her mind. Mother Abbess decides to send her to a family where she would help take care of children. When Maria hears that, she freaks out and begs the mother to let her stay in the abbey. Mother Abbess, however, knows why she's doing it and wants Maria to be ready for the commitment of staying in the abbey and being a nun for the rest of her life. She wants her, for the most part, to be sure about her decision. Maria accepts it as a God's will and takes upon herself this role of a governess in the von Trapp family with 7 children. As she leaves, we get to see a silly sequence of Maria trying to build up a strong confidence and her wonderful lively self. She's scared, but trying to stop her doubts, building her courage along the road that seems to be getting stronger and stronger until she finds herself standing in front of the giant von Trapp mansion. But you see that, yeah, she's confident, and you as well find yourself confident in her, not losing the smile again from what you've seen so far. It's a rich mansion where she will be staying, but when she meets Captain von Trapp, a widowed man and naval officer played by Christopher Plummer, it's evident that communication with him won't be the easiest, as he's strict and his communication with his children doesn't look like more than commanding soldiers on a ship. Here we meet the 7 von Trapp children.
Lisa, Friedrich, Luisa, Kurt, Brigitte, Martha.
And Gretel.
They have to answer to some whistle signals, which doesn't sit right with our protagonist, and when Captain turns to leave, Maria displays to us her immensely unafraid self as she wasn't scared away by the captain's manners and does this.
Excuse me, sir, I don't know your signal.
You may call me Captain.
kids find it amusing and crack a laugh after their father leaves them alone with the new governess. She's new to this field, and as these children don't want some strangers taking care of them, obviously, as they scared away many governesses before Maria, they try to recommend some awfully bad advice that would definitely make their father send her away if she listened to them. She, of course, is bright and knows what these children are trying to do. When she finds an alive frog in her dress, she uses this unkind experience to get the children to self-reflect on this action, and their not so warm welcoming her into their home. She, of course, does it in a way that doesn't get them into trouble in front of their father, which works out for her. At the dinner, we get a glimpse of the unrest that children feel when their father's gone. They don't like him going away, and especially going to Vienna to see this so-called Baroness that he evidently visits often. They ask him when they will meet her themselves, and get surprised by his answer that he will bring the Baroness back with him, so they can finally get to know each other. And along with her, their Uncle Max will come too and visit them, which excites the children more than the idea of the Baroness coming to their home. During the dinner, a different point of view is introduced to us as we get to see the oldest of the children, Liesel, sneak out of the family evening, out of the house, to have an especially cute moment with a boy who delivers telegrams and posts to the house, Rolf. In the conversation they have, we can hear the first mention of Nazi Germany that foreshadows the Anschluss that's about to come, but as fast as they forget about it, so do we, and don't really pay it higher attention. Their relationship is important because of the later events. Thunderstorm bursts outside and scares the children. They all come running to Maria's room looking for comfort and safety, which they all find. Even Liesel, who dismissed Maria as soon as she saw her come, realizes and confesses that she maybe really does need a governess. Maria sings to the children about her favorite things, and they all have a great laugh together, slowly forgetting completely about the thunderstorm, but soon get interrupted by the captain. The shift in the children's mood and behavior is immediate. He gets mad at Maria for disrupting the children's bedtime schedule, and when she tries to argue that he's not right, she first realizes it wouldn't help anything and steps down, but not that much to deny herself, and still pokes to the captain at least a little. She asks him for some material from which she could make play clothes for the children, but he denies her that. Maria, however, doesn't give up and finds a way to get the material without the captain.
Girls in white dresses with blue satin sashes.
After this, Mr. von Trapp leaves for Vienna, and children with the governess have the loveliest time together, having fun, dancing, playing, but most importantly, this is the time when Maria brings music back to their lives, as their father didn't like nor let them sing after their mother died. She teaches them to sing, even trains a song with them to perform for the Baroness. It looks like the most fun, definitely more fun than I've had for these past months. I couldn't help myself but just smile during the whole scene. It gets cut to the captain sitting in the car with Baroness and Uncle Max, taking them to the family mansion to meet the children. While driving, they see some kids climbing trees and don't pay much attention to them, but there is this look that captain gets after a few seconds, realizing that these were his children, but he drives further to the villa. When they arrive, he and the Baroness share a nice conversation where Captain's somehow different side is shown. We don't see the strict man from before, but a gentleman talking seemingly affectionately to his lady.
Well, what would you call me, Georg?
Lovely. Charming, witty, graceful, the perfect hostess, and you're going to hate me for this. In a way, My savior?
However, when the young postman comes to deliver a telegram to Uncle Max and serves a Nazi salutation to the captain, he gets furious, indicating again what's about to happen later. Not long after that, he and the Baroness share another lovely moment, which now gets interrupted by the children coming home on a boat, and after a happy welcoming of their father, they all, with their governess, fall to the water. The captain is raging and gets into a heated argument with Maria, who fights for the children and tries to make their father think about their lives more, trying to bring him to spend more time with them, and not only like the officer they have in the house, but like a father they so sincerely love and want. After this, he sends her off to go and pack her things so she could leave back to the abbey. But he gets cut off by a song that he hears his children sing, and after he gets into the house and sings the song with them, sharing a warm family moment,
I go to the hills when my heart is lonely.
he asks Maria to stay.
I want you to stay. I ask you to stay.
If I could be of any help.
You have already. More than you know.
Children with their governess perform for the visitors and their father. Uncle Max asks them to set up a singing group performing at a festival. The captain denies it, but afterwards is asked to sing for them, and his children are something that he cannot dismiss. He and Maria here share their first loving looks. But what's interesting is that we are not the ones to recognize it. The Baroness is. She then asks the captain to arrange a party in honor of a visit, and he does. He arranges a giant ball inviting lots of people, including Herr Zeller, a man of Nazi blood who doesn't appreciate the sight of the Austrian flag hanging so low in the main hall for everyone to see. To me, it didn't really appear as much the first time I watched this, and just brushed it off with okay in my mind. I recognized it but didn't really care much to pay more attention to it because of other plots and twists that I was waiting for in the movie. I thought it's supposed to only help sketch in the time when this story takes place, but oh boy, was I wrong. But I'll leave this part for later. Maria teaches the children the Austrian folk dance, but as skirt is too short to be a good dancing partner for Maria, the captain steps in and dances with her instead. Both of them realize there's something between them, but at the same time know it's no place, time or situation to say or do something about it. She leaves to prepare children for their upcoming performance for the guests, and during this time, when Captain is waiting with the Baroness, we see him evidently distant and looking for someone else. Maria. After the children finish their performance, Maria is asked to stay and leaves to change her clothes. The Baroness comes to her, saying she will help her change, but soon confronts Maria about her feelings towards the captain and his noticeable feelings towards Maria too. Maria comes to the conclusion that she should leave and get back to the abbey immediately. She packs her bags, writes a note, and leaves in a rush without saying goodbye to anyone, not even to children. The Baroness, interestingly, doesn't appear to me as someone evil or bad. She's, I think, in love with the captain and, well, wants him for herself, but she still outwardly doesn't do bad, evil stuff. This part that got Maria to leave, well, it was all in Maria's head, this decision. I think that if the decision she made long before she got to the von Trapp family about becoming a nun wasn't on her mind, she maybe would simply stay. But she got scared of her feelings and the feelings of Mr. von Trapp as well. After her departure, the children are clearly unhappy and not very kind to the Baroness. And later, after the captain reveals that there will be no other governess and he and the Baroness will get married, Not even the song about the favorite things that Maria taught them helps.
Brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
Why don't I feel better?
But then, dun, 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 Maria comes back. She confessed to the Mother Abbess back in the Abbey about her feelings towards the captain, and they had a beautiful and warm conversation about it. Mother Abbess saying that love is holy and that her love for this man doesn't mean that she loves God less. She tells Maria that
you have to live the life you were born to live.
Actually, here comes my absolute favorite scene from the whole movie, when Mother Abbess encourages Maria to face her problems, to climb every mountain. And the way it touches Maria, the way it speaks to her, it's just a pure emotion. She cannot even bring herself to say anything. She just stands there and listens. So Maria comes back, but the children burst the news about their father getting married out at her right away, and Maria states to the captain that she will stay only
until arrangements can be made for another governess.
Maria is the only one on Captain's mind, however, and when he realizes it and is sure about it, he calls off the engagement with the Baroness. The Baroness takes it so well, it is impossible to be mad at her for anything. They deal with it like real adults and part their ways in peace like old friends. It even seems that Baroness is the one who sets the final drop that Captain needed for him to go and confess his feelings to our lovely Maria.
And somewhere out there is a young lady who I think will never be a nun.
And so he goes, and they have this heart-to-heart conversation, and they kiss and get engaged, which is later followed by a wedding. Nuns get Maria ready for the ceremony, which I thought was the nicest thing. Them being so supportive, I couldn't stop smiling, really. The only thing I've wished to be different in this film is the music that plays during the wedding. Don't know why, but it didn't really sit right with me. It definitely had its reasoning for being there, however, I would enjoy it more with some other song, but that's just my subjective feeling that nobody cares about, so I shut up now. After the wedding, we finally see why all the mentions of upcoming Anschluss were displayed. The family finds themselves in occupied Austria, and, well, lots of things are about to change. Firstly, Rolf seems to be so cold and robot-like towards Liesel, it doesn't sit well with anyone. He dismisses Liesel in the weirdest way and leaves. The captain comes from their honeymoon with Maria, and first we see as he tears Nazi Germany flag apart. Uncle Max sets up the family group singing at a festival after Anschluss, but Captain again dismisses it. After that, we find out that the captain got a telegram wanting him to travel to Berlin immediately and serve under the German Navy. They get ready to leave Austria, wanting to get away from all of what's coming, but unfortunately they get caught trying to escape, and Herr Zeller wants to take the captain away immediately. Thankfully, they come up with a quick lie, actually thank him for the behind their backs actions of Uncle Max, and say they are leaving to sing at the festival. With the help of Uncle Max, they manage to escape from there. At first they run to hide at the abbey, where nuns help them. However, here it seems that they will get caught, because, well, Rolf hears Liesel's cry out when she sees him in the Nazi uniform, hunting them. He catches them and even pulls out a gun on the captain, but the captain sees that he isn't one of them and manages to take the gun from him. But when he's vocal about Rolf not being one of the Nazis, he gets mad.
Lieutenant! Lieutenant
They drive off, and when it seems that the Nazis will get to them, they suddenly cannot start their cars. And we immediately find out why is that. The von Trapp family happily gets away from the occupied Austria, leaving all their belongings behind and setting out to live elsewhere. Sound of Music is one of the most incredible and positive movies I have ever seen. When I finished watching it, I felt at peace. There was no unease, no anxiety, nothing but a good feeling. Now, don't get me wrong, I love movies that leave you hanging, like The Inception or Interstellar, or movies with endings you keep coming back to and cannot stop thinking about, which in a long run is, at least for me, connected to lots of anxiety when I have the endless questions about the protagonist's future and no answers at all. But that's how these movies are made, and their execution is done brilliantly. I mean, take for example The Perfect Sense. However, from time to time, people need relief from the stress and not think about others' fates, so this movie, The Sound of Music, might be just the perfect one. Interestingly enough, this story is not about fictional people. It's about the real von Trapp family who escaped Austria after Anschluss and left for America, where they hid from the Nazis. They didn't have an easy life, not at all, but they stick together through it. They made money as the Trapp family singers, and they toured through the whole United States, and after World War II they sent countless parcels of clothing and food to help their homeland, Austria. If their story interested you, check out the link in the bio where you could find more about them. And with that, thank you kindly for watching, and if you've seen the movie already or you're just planning on doing so, let me know in the comments. I would love to know what you think. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe. It would be great to see you next time. Thanks again, and don't let the bed bugs bite. Goodbye. Well, can you draw a cat?